What's up, this is GM, and before I start, I want to tell you about TubeBuddy. In case you don't know, TubeBuddy is a free website that will help you manage and grow your YouTube channel. Thanks to them, some of my videos even show up as top results. Want to give them a try? Check the description below for the link.
Today, I have EPOMAKER's Shadow X 70% mechanical keyboard. This is a top-of-the-line mechanical keyboard that I can't wait to show off. So let me go ahead and move the box out of the way and pull out this beautiful keyboard right here. It's got the sleekest black and gray design that I've ever seen. But of course, in the box, we have the EPOMAKER Shadow X. We have a charging cable, which is a USB-A to USB-C, which can also be used as a cable for using it wired as well. So you don't have to use it only wireless. You can use it wired and Bluetooth, which I will touch on a little bit later down the line. It also comes with these extra keycaps to make it a slightly yellow design as well. It comes with extra switches. Here we have my hot swappable Bluebird switches that I personally got for this keyboard, which I absolutely love, and you're gonna hear why in just a bit here. It comes with a keycap removal tool as well as a switch removal tool. It's a 2-in-1, so for the keycap versus for the switch. If you want to know how to do that, let me know. I'll make a separate video on how to use this tool specifically to remove the caps on this specific keyboard. And then we have a manual, and this manual is really short and to the point, and I actually think it does a good job of explaining everything overall. So I won't be going over every little thing. In fact, if you want to pause and read anything in the manual, I suggest you do so right now, because like I said, this really does a good job of explaining everything. This is the English. It has a lot of different languages here, but since the majority of my viewers are English speakers, this is where I'm going to stop at just to show off this one page. And now we're going to get into it. All right, so let's keep in mind that the link to this product is in the description below. The EPOMAKER Shadow X is a 70% keyboard layout with double shot PBT keycaps, intuitive 1.06-inch color screen with metal rotary knob up here. And then we have a gasket mounted and Poron foams, 3 modes of connectivity, Bluetooth. We've got a dongle, which, let me see, where is that piece? It's right over here. And then we have a wired mode, which you would just plug in through the top as well right here. It has a 3000 milliamp hour battery. Mine came with hot swappable Bluebird switches that I showed off earlier, which I think are probably one of the nicest switches I've heard so far. And I'm actually going to take off my mic, bring it a little bit closer to the keyboard so you can hear what it sounds like as I click. I don't know how well it'll come through, but let's go ahead and try. So obviously I can't really type too well because I'm holding my mic with one hand over here, so it's a little hard for me to do kind of like a typing test, but hopefully this gives you a general idea. It is a very smooth keyboard. It's not very noisy, so now I'm gonna do some light taps so you can see how loose the caps are on each switch. So I don't even know if it could pick it up because it's actually very quiet. Some of those I actually pressed a little too hard just because I've never experienced a situation where they don't move at all. Like, that's how well these caps are placed onto these switches and how fitted they are, which is great. Man, I really do love how this sounds though. I'm gonna press a couple keys over and over again just so you can hear this again. Man, I love how that sounds. Hopefully the mic is picking that up a little bit, but I'm honestly not too sure. So let's move on to taking a closer look at this keyboard. So as you can see, we do have a secondary pad over here, which is just your arrow keys, some extraneous keys up here, the knob, which lets you switch from, and let me go and refocus that, from an off to the, and I believe this one is for the dongle. So if you're using this little bit right here, it also has the 3 Bluetooth modes, so you can connect up to 3 Bluetooth devices at once. Now let me refocus this again real quick so we can see the bottom a little bit more clear. here we have the pads, the kick-up stands, and as you can see, it has two different levels. You have a smaller one, and then you have a bigger one, and each one does have its own little rubber feet, so it won't slip around. It does have some rubber feet as well when it's completely flat, which is really nice. I don't think this would be a water-resistant keyboard, so try not to get fluids on it if you can help it. But let's go ahead and let me refocus one more time so we're definitely clear here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on, and here you can see you can actually customize this little screen. So I actually put my logo here, and I'm gonna bring it a lot closer here. Hopefully I can focus that up pretty well. Oh, there we go. Let's turn that back on. And I've got a little bit of dust here just because it's so much light coming on it, but that looks absolutely amazing, especially with the different lighting effects, which I'm gonna go ahead and also show you a little bit better. Let me go ahead and turn off my overhead light. Let's go ahead and mess around with my settings just a little bit, just so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. All right, let's see how that looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the light back on. And it really has a nice colored backlight that you can mess around with. And you do that by holding function menu and then hitting delete. That's gonna go ahead and turn it on and off. Now the manual says if you hit function menu and this button right here, it's gonna change the effect, which isn't actually true from what I've seen. For me, I believe it is, and I always forget which one it is, but usually I just mess around with the keys until it works. Oh yeah, and function menu page down will switch between a little menu over here of the date, time, and whatnot, the charging, battery life. We have the different modes, whether or not your caps lock is on. Then you hit it again to switch the EPOMAKER logo, and then you hit it again to switch to whatever design you upload, which you can do with the driver. Now for the part that I always forget how to do, which is switching between the different lighting modes. So now something that I'm gonna try to point out, but it might be a little difficult to see down here on this mini screen, is if I hit function menu delete, or sorry, not delete, if I hit enter, you can switch between these different options. So you have the always on for the light, which if you hit again, it turns to peak turn, incline rain. It's the different light modes pretty much, which I'm just gonna cycle through really quickly just so you can get an idea. It has a lot of light modes, so you're not gonna be able to see them all super quickly right now. Well, let's just keep going just so we can get, all right, cool. So that should have been all of them. Now, if you hit function menu and enter again, you can switch back to the previous menu, which is the always on. And then if you hit function menu left and right, it lets you switch between the different menu options. So from lighting, we can go to color, hit enter. Now we're in colorful, you can switch it to a single color. It has orange, yellow, green, red, cyan, blue, purple, white, and then colorful once again. Now hit enter so we can go back. Now we've got speed, hit enter, and you can increase the speed. So from 1 to 4, 1 is gonna be the slowest, 4 is gonna be the fastest. Let's hit that enter again, go back, hit enter again. You've got your brightness. Again, 1 to 4. And then back to the lighting option. So that's how I've been controlling this, pretty much all the functionality on this keyboard. I know that was a bit of a fast run through, so just rewind and rewatch if you need a little run through on that again. But that's pretty much how you would control the lighting options, the colors and all that. The manual is not quite correct from what I saw, at least the one that I showed you guys isn't correct from what I can tell. So just keep that in mind in case you're having any issues trying to control all the different modes on here. Now let's talk about its use in game, because let's face it, that's probably one of the more important things in my opinion. So since this is a little bit elevated at the front, I do notice my hand has to be a little bit more bent up in order to hit these keys, which personally hasn't really bothered me. I like the fact that the spacing between these keys is really kind of prominent, and then it's also more angled, so between the keys, so that way you don't accidentally hit keys that you don't mean to. I think that's a really big plus, because with my current keyboard, which I'm gonna go and pull into frame right here, I do sometimes accidentally hit these other keys very easily, which is no bueno when you're playing a game where accuracy on what keys you press is very important. So just something to keep in mind. I really do like that. I mostly tried this keyboard out on Valorant, and I found that my overall gameplay actually improved some compared to my other keyboard, which is a wired keyboard. And I think that's mostly because, again, I can tell that tactile response. The keys are separated well to where I don't accidentally hit a bunch of different keys, but they're also not spaced so much that I can't reach keys that are within a certain vicinity compared to my other keyboard that's feels a little bit more compact. I like the fact that it has this little screen where you can kind of display whatever you want. You can upload your own images. You can upload your own little animations as well. It shows you the battery life. It shows you all kinds of information. I think that's really neat and a really neat feature of this one keyboard that I definitely haven't seen before and definitely would recommend. And then of course, I like the different forms of connectivity that it has, because that gives you so many options. So overall, I would say this is great, and I really do like the switches it came with as well. As you can tell, the sound is absolutely amazing. It's heavenly. I would 100% get this keyboard just for that sound alone. And that's pretty much it for this keyboard. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you could like and subscribe. Link is in the description below, my bad. And of course, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll try to answer those best to my ability. Thank you so much for watching.